You hear that? That's the sound of another Konami classic. This time, it is going to be Rocket Knight Adventures on the Sega Genesis. Hello everyone, my name is Don, and I freaking love Rocket Knight Adventures. I love Sparkster. I love this dude. Look at him. He's cool and cute. He's adorable. And he's got a jetpack. That's the coolest thing about Rocket Knight Adventures, is the boost mechanic this game utilizes. I'll talk more about the jetpack in the game proper. I am playing the American version of RKA, which has a different cutscene than the Japanese version, and higher difficulty spikes. The difficulty in general has also been boosted up, so normal is actually hard mode. The title cards are also different between regions, with the American versions being more of an action shot of Sparkster looking pissed off. You know, of course, it's the American version. And Americans love pissed off looking things. But getting into the game, Sparkster, our noble knight from the kingdom of Zebalos. In fact, our lovable possum hero is actually the leader of the Rocket Knights. How come? Well, the original leader was unfortunately killed by a traitor named Axel Gear. The bastard. Axel, being the treacherous pig he is, pun intended, or pun maybe not intended, he's a possum too, he joins the pig empire of... how does he pronounce this? Devotindos. What the hell is that? An evil empire who attempts to break a seal of a powerful spaceship. Guess what the spaceship is called? Pigstar. It's the Pigstar. And guess what? The Pigstar has the power to destroy entire planets. Zing! So yeah, this is basically a rehashed A New Hope with pigs and opossums. Great, they even got the ATSTs. But the story is not the most important part of Rocket Knight, it is the gameplay. As you can see, Sparkster has a jetpack, and you can use that jetpack in order to boost in any of the 8 directions. You do want to be careful in when and where to use the rocket booster because Sparkster is not as nimble as, say, Lilac from Freedom Planet. Using the rocket booster to go up or any upwards direction will result in an uncontrollable fall, in which case you cannot move while you're on your way down. That's indicated by the character's sprite flowing about on the way down. It's kind of hilarious to look at. Now, the mechanics of the game are a lot to take in at first, but the more you play it, the more you'll realize that the game itself is rather simple. The one thing about Rocket Knight and its many nuances is, well, Sparkster's sword. He shoots an energy beam out, somewhat similar to Link from The Legend of Zelda, but the most important thing is the sword itself. That counts as a hitbox. In fact, the blade itself is probably the most powerful weapon in its arsenal. And we're in shmup mode. Rocket Knight Adventures is also part shmup. But one more thing about the blade is that if you stand close to the enemy, but not too close, as you take contact damage in this game, you'll hit the enemy with the sword as well as the beam in conjunction, complete with this really satisfying scratching sound. It's pretty dangerous to do, especially on normal mode where the contact damage is pretty freaking ridiculous, but it's an absolute must technique if you want to cut down boss health bars in no time. Anyway, this wyvern creature robot thing, which I'm pretty sure they just reused this in Contra 4 on the DS, or at least this pattern's very familiar. You want to stay slightly above the head but not tackle into it because that will pretty much kill you in one hit. Or at least 2 hits, I don't know. But just well on with your sword and you should be fine. Fruit in this game will serve as your health pickups. There are no full restores until you beat the level, but apples will serve as 1 or 2 health pickups, and bananas will restore 4 of your health points. And this part is dangerous, especially on normal mode. Or American normal. You're gonna hear me say that a lot. Normal mode or American normal, which is actually the Japanese version of hard. Yeah. Freaking Americans love this game hard. What? But yeah, you just dodge the fireballs. The fire does at least half your health, so 2 hits and you're essentially dead. But these flames do have a pattern, so take the time to learn the pattern and you shouldn't get hit at all. But as I was saying before, the regional differences in the difficulty spikes aren't just tied towards your health. It's also tied towards your rests and your continues too. Your rests, or normally called lives, I don't know why it's called rest, I have 1 life, basically. That's normal mode, you only have 1 life. or you start out with 1 life. You can get more as the game progresses. And you have, I want to say 0 continues, but I'm pretty sure 0 counts, so maybe 1 continue and it's game over. And yeah, that's American Normal Mode. Normal Mode's a bitch. And so is this guy. Get out of my face! But even Normal Mode pales in comparison to Hard Mode. This game's Hard Mode absolutely sucks. You have no lives, no continues, and you have 1 hit point. That health bar is pretty much useless in Hard Mode. But here's the first boss of the game. It's a mechanical centipede, or maybe it's just a worm, but this thing is easy. He'll break through the walls of Jericho, and the ceilings, and he'll drop these moving mines. You can jump over these things. What you want to do is wait for the machine to drop this red mine in order to dash into it. And it'll repeat the process a couple more times, maybe throwing a different attack like that tail waggle thing. What is he, a dog? He'll do the tail attack from the left side too. All the while, the machine will keep attempting to headbutt you. That's your chance to strike. Unfortunately, this is one of the few bosses in the game where you can't do the multi-hit technique. So you're gonna have to hit it once at a time, every time it ducks into the room and shit. Ah! The bosses in this game tend to explode. I mean, typical Konami, am I right? And there's also a dramatic pause every time you beat a level. Complete with a victory theme and a reminder that I'm playing Rocket Knight Adventures. For some reason I thought I was playing Castle of Illusion. Yeah, thanks for reminding me, game. Thanks. Oh, you have a jetpack, buddy. Here's stage 2, which could be considered a huge difficulty spike, especially on American Normal. Oh. But the stage starts out on a boss because, of course it does, and you need to have full knowledge of the dash ability. You need to dash up to the pig's red nose in order to do major damage to the main body, because of course there are different hit points for the rest of the body too. You got the right and the left arms that you can destroy, and I'm not sure what the pig does after you destroy those arms. Maybe it shoots turrets or something? I don't know. I never destroy those. I always go for the red fuck me lights. Ah! Whenever something explodes violently like that, I always scream bloody murder. And here I'm thinking this game probably doesn't need this many explosions because it ain't Contra, but it's still Konami. And it's also on Genesis. And what Genesis does that Nintendo don't, or at least Nintendo kind of skimps on, are explosions. Now here's the stupid part where you need to use the foreground and where you need to use the foreground and background to get around. And admittedly, this part does play tricks on my eyes now that I'm older, but not that much older. I'm still in my mid-20s. Mid to late 20s. Though. And this boss sucks. You need to time your dash well in order to hit the red orb, but also not fall into the spikes below. And you also want to stay still here. Don't try and chase the boss or swap between the background and foreground. Just let the boss come to you. Oh, good God! Oh, that's probably a seizure warning, that flashing. Gotta remember that. Oh, I love the music in this game. It's so crunchy. It's a Genesis game. Of course, it's going to have crunchy music. But there are also some jazzy tunes in here. This is a very diverse soundtrack. You got some techno, you got some jazz-sounding music. You got ominous tunes, you got some whimsical tunes in there, like the soundtrack coming up. It's just a very fun soundtrack. That's as much as I could say, it's a fun soundtrack. And one of the composers went on to make the entire Symphony of the Night soundtrack, so props to this game. And props to Symphony of the Night, because I love that soundtrack too. But now we're on a runaway minecart with pig soldiers throwing bombs at us. What is this, Mother 3? Oh, god damn it! And now I've got one hit before I die. I'm telling you, this game gets knuckin' futs real quick. There should be a health pickup soon, hopefully, if I get past this part. There's a pattern to this though, so left, right, left, left. Sometimes right, right. Okay, that guy just died instantly, so we should be at the end of this part. Jump off here, otherwise you'll go with the cart and fall into the pit. Jump on this cart and duck right here. These spikes will instantly kill you if you stand back up. Okay, flashing cart, jump here. Jump now, and jump now. So yeah, this game does throw a couple of curveballs your way. Beating it on your first try, maybe it's possible, but don't expect it. Honestly, don't expect it. If you play on easy, I mean, I do recommend playing on easy on your first attempt, just to get used to the game's mechanics. But normal mode and hard mode, yeah, good luck. Good luck. It was this game and this game's sequel which will go on to inspire Freedom Planet. Or partially inspire. I mean, you also got the Sonic the Hedgehog part of it too. And now that I think about it, Sparkster is also kind of like a Sonic clone in his own right too. I mean, look at him. Animal, blue, has a spin attack, travels at high speeds. Come on, the similarities are there. Anyway, here's the boss of stage 2, it's the runaway train. And you could just pick away at him with your sword. Holy crap. Jesus Christ. Whoever said the pen is mightier than the sword has never met Sparkster, I'm telling you. But that's not the end of the fight, you got 2 more phases, and the second phase is arguably the hardest because these hands like to go in these weird patterns. Can't really dodge it effectively. But if you keep using your sword and keep hitting the enemy, then you can actually pass through the hands while they're flashing. This pattern, the train's gonna attempt to grab Sparkster, you just go from right to left or vice versa. You should never get hit. So the good thing is the cart is in constant movement, or rather I should say the cart is following your every movement, so you're in no danger of falling to your death here. And the third and final phase is relatively easy as long as you don't run into the train itself. That can happen, and I've honestly done that more times than I care to admit. But what you want to do here is stay close to the train and hit it with both your sword and your beam. You got tiny spark balls that will shoot all over the place, but never along the tracks. So as long as you're behind the train, you should be good. It's maybe a small thing, but I like how the stage clear screen physically drags Sparkster to the center of the screen. It's as if the game's developers like, get your ass over here and claim this victory. This stage starts out on a gimmick where you have to avoid this lava, which looks more like overheated Kool-Aid. Oh yeah! But no, you can actually see your reflection on the red stuff, which is why it looks more like Kool-Aid than actual lava. And use that to your advantage because, oh god, I almost boosted to my death. But as I was saying before, you could use the mirrored image down below to your advantage because you got this stuff in the foreground blocking your view. It's a smart way to push the visual capabilities of the Sega Genesis without blowing the system up or style over substance. Like in the case of some games, like this is actually pretty fun. But you do want to be careful with this stuff because it kills you in one hit if you touch it, regardless of difficulty. Hold down the attack button so I can get my boost ready. Wait here. And dash for the exit! We're out of the way of instant kill lava, we got not so instant kill spikes, but they still hurt if you touch them. Spikes take 1 heart, so touch those 8 times and you die. Not as much damage as I thought they would take. Damage in this game goes by in a very case-by-case scenario. You would not want to touch a boss, they will kill you in 2 to 3 hits, whereas something like a lowly pig soldier will kill you in 9 or 10. This tiny part here may look tricky because it looks like you can swim through here, but just use your boost. You won't take any damage. Using your boost is key for some sections because some things are just quicker than Sparkster's walking speed, and also you need some invincibility frames at the same time. You can also perform a standing spin attack by holding down the attack button but not moving the character. And now this mini boss is Crab Pig, or Pig Crab, or Pork of the Sea? I don't freaking know. This boss does have 3 different locations to strike at. You got the 2 claws, and then you got the canopy. Strike the claws first because they get in the way. And the claws are aggressive too, they just like to pinch at you. Trying to grab Sparkster and shit. Ah! Oh yeah, one more thing. If you get hit while charging your rocket booster, you lose the boost and you have to hold down the button again. Not good because it takes away your most powerful attack at the moment, but also kind of adds to the challenge too. Ow, damn it! Crustacean pork swine son of a bitch. But yeah, not a problem, just as long as you can get the time to hold down the button and charge up the booster again if you get hit. It shouldn't be that big a deal until at least the last level. The last level kinda sucks. Alright, those are the claws, but the thing still attacks. Great, I knew he would have a plan B. Alright, I'm forgetting the screams. Ah! Here I am, I'm in rough shape and I only have 1 hit point left. And I don't think there are any health pickups left in this stage. Oh, great. Time for a refresh. I'm not clearing this game in 1 life, to hell with that. But this part is pretty simple. You got this chicken walker who will walk through the magma, and it looks like it will destroy itself, but it doesn't, because it doesn't go deep into the lava, you know? So you can still stand on it. But for the parts where you make it onto solid ground, you want to jump off, because I believe these spikes do kill you in 1 hit. Pretty inconsistent, but oh well, it's Rocket Knight Adventures. They can change the rules when they want. Oh no, Lava Reef Zone boss? Are you kidding me? And this game came out before Sonic 3 did. This boss fight is at least different, but it's still just as tedious as the Sonic 3 fight. What you need to do is wait for the pig soldier to fly out of his, contraption, the mouth. I don't know if he's piloting the thing or if he was eaten, I don't know. Kind of a strange way to pilot some sort of fish monster machine thing. Like, you would think the cockpit would be in the eyes or like the actual brain part of the fish, but no, it's the mouth. How interesting. The pork fish has a couple of different patterns, one of which is pretty generous. It's actually this one where it gives you fruit. And the fruit and the fireballs all fall in the same pattern every time. But the main attack of the fish is he'll either spawn to the left or right, and he'll try to eat up the platforms. Sometimes the lower platforms will go faster than the top platforms, other times it's vice versa. At least the magma here looks more like magma and not clear Kool-Aid. I'm not gonna go over that. That stuff at the beginning of the stage looked like fucking Kool-Aid, not freaking lava. And the reason why Sparkster's in this falling animation in the middle of the platform is because it's actually sectioned into 3 platforms, and I was just standing on one of the edges. I wanted to see if I could get that as my victory animation. I did not mean to go into the lava there! Give me some health! I need help! Help! Now I should be good, hopefully. Damn, this guy has a lot of health! Maybe it's normal mode being stupid and giving more health to the enemies. Ah, maybe that's the reason. But hopefully this guy goes down in 1 or 2 more hits, because I can't take this anymore. Thank you for the volcano bananas, I really appreciate it. I mean, what's a better source of nutrition? Ball meat from Castlevania? Or volcano bananas from Rocket Knight? Ah, damn, I didn't even do the fall animation? Oh, great. Well, Sparkster grinning stupidly is good enough for me. I'll see you guys in part 2.